Okay, welcome back to a few days late video of high value English review. This is of lesson number 21. So these are the answers to a few exercises that I give to my local students. But if you don't have the exercises, that's okay. I'll type them all here and you can understand through the examples. This is a good one, just focused on 3 words, almost, hardly, and barely. And these are adverbs that carry a lot of weight or can really change the image of a situation or character. So, usually adverbs like, oh, my sister can sing beautifully, right? So you could say, okay, yeah, that's a, beautiful song, beautiful singing, right? I understand. Or my cat runs quickly. Okay, yeah, run, that's a speed action. But these adverbs are, they more adjust the level of intensity of I'm going to say almost any verb. So things that get complicated, like, oh, I almost missed the train. So you have to think about it slowly, carefully. So miss the train means I didn't get on. I'm in the station. Almost means I'm in, but it was close. It was I maybe running, I jumped, right? So you have to think about what is the image. So kind of a running to the door, and the door is closing, and I slip inside. Very, very close. So you have to think about. So this is another level of imagery that you're of communication, because that's what it is. You're trying to communicate the image to the listener. Or my brother hardly brushes his teeth. So now this is tricky because usually my students think, work hard, study hard, practice hard. That means the full power version. This is not that. This is the opposite. This means the very weak, light. I don't want to do this. So brush your teeth, brush, finish. Enough. So you have to think about what is the image, what's the imagery? It could be, brushes only 3 times. That's what I just did. Or only uses water. Maybe no toothpaste. Oh, this is good. Enough. Or, I don't know, maybe only once a day. Maybe hardly, I could say. Is that, I don't know, case by case. You have to think about it. What do you mean? What image are you communicating? So that's why this is such a late lesson. This is, different native communication. That's why this is a pretty high level, pretty far along. You have to, you don't want to speed up. You want to slow down and think about what do you mean? What is the image? Okay, but anyway, let's just go over these examples. Exercises A. So here's one here. So let's say, okay, so I paid my friend to fix my computer, but he blah blah did anything because it still runs very slowly. Okay, so I paid my friend, fix the computer. So is the computer is broken? Fix usually means broken. Well, if you see here, it still runs slowly. So it's not broken. It's just very slowly working, slowly running. We say that for machines are running. Computers running. So, so what this means, you paid the money. Is it fixed? Well, no. Or I don't know. I mean, I paid. He says it's fixed. So this could be he hardly did anything, which means again, it means I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert. He did something, but it's almost zero. These are connected yet. It's kind of almost nothing, right? Maybe a 1% version of fix, the very most small version of fix, or I don't know. So hardly did anything, or barely in this case. Yeah, he barely did anything. So yeah, in this case, it's either one is fine. All right, number 2. I blah blah forgot my friend's birthday party, but I remembered at the last second. Oh, oops. There you go. I blah blah forgot. Okay, so let's see. So let's see. So let's say I forgot. I forgot my friend's birthday party, but I remembered. So that means I didn't forget. I remembered. I didn't forget. But when? At the last second. So it was very close. It was almost. I almost forgot. So that means all day. Oh, today I'm free. No plan. Nothing. Oh, wait. Oh my God. So I just remembered. I just remembered. That's another word native people say. Something is, small. I just remembered. So I almost forgot. But that means, oh man, why do you do this? Okay, well, what it means is I didn't forget, which means I remembered. Okay, so I and you can hear native people will use this word. Say, I almost forgot. So, but it was okay. It was safe, as they say in Japan. Number 3. I really hate my roommate because he blah blah does any blah blah or blah blah in the apartment. Okay, so now you have to getting more tricky. So I hate my roommate. He does any, let's see, what are things? Let's see. Well, one should be definitely cleaning. Cleaning, or let's see, what's another one? Cleaning, or does any cleaning work? I guess like cooking. I don't know. If you have a roommate, let's say how about shopping? Maybe we'll say that. That sounds a little bit more makes sense. You have to, some people have to buy the shared items, toilet paper, buy the sponge or soap, or cleaning things. So but I hate my roommate. He does. So this should be he doesn't do any cleaning. But let's say, well, it's not zero. It's not zero. It's a little bit above zero. So that's the word for it. He hardly does any cleaning, or he barely does anything. So it might be the most small version, right? The one. Why do you do this? 1% version of cleaning is what? Maybe vacuum for 10 seconds. Zzz, done. What? I vacuumed. It's clean. It's clean. Look, it looks clean. Or maybe washes one dish. Maybe. I don't know. What oops, that's not right. Or maybe shopping only buys ketchup. Maybe if that's a shared, I only buys ketchup. So he doesn't buy toilet paper, doesn't buy other things, only this. So just the super small or light version. Almost. So these are almost nothing. Right? Hardly does is almost nothing. Number 4. Blah blah. All of my blah blah love karaoke. But I blah blah sing. So I prefer to do something else. Let's see. So, oh yeah, this is often my students will make this mistake. So the word here is going to be almost all. I think, in Japanese, the word is just going to be almost and then the people or group. But in English, you need that all. Almost all of my, I think it's going to be my friends. Almost all of my friends. So that all you must say. We don't say, almost my family or almost my co-workers. That is a little bit kind of hard to understand because only one word is missing. Almost all and all of. All of. Right? So, and this is communicating. Why do you give me this small text? This means maybe 90% or 95% of X or whoever of, the group of people, right? So you could, maybe that's the way you could say, also say most. Most of my, maybe there's a connection there. Almost and most. Most means 95 or 90%. Most of my family. Almost all. Most. Maybe we'll have to put that word in somewhere. But for now, almost all of my friends love karaoke, but I blah blah sing. Now I think my students might want to say I hate or don't like, right? But that doesn't work with this. You need the ing version. I don't like to sing. I hate to sing. I don't like singing. I hate singing. But with sing, what can you do? But I think the only word here that fits is I can't sing. So this is, I think, another native style. So, if you say can't sing, it means, oh, impossible? Impossible to sing? Well, no. It means I'm so terrible. I'm so bad. We say I can't. We say that. So native people say, oh, I can't play basketball. Really? It's impossible? No, I'm so bad. I can't. That's what we say. So I'm so bad at basketball. I can't. Or other ones, yeah. Oh, my friend can't cook. Can't cook. So I never eat at her house, for example. So it's not impossible. It means just very terrible, bad cooking. Okay, so that's another tricky one there. That's number 4. That's strange. So let's go to number 5. Doing this. I blah blah prepared for my test, but miraculously I got a perfect score. This is, a tricky one. So let's say, I prepared for my test, but miraculously, by miracle, I got a perfect score. Perfect. So, but these ones make sense. You study, you get the good score. That makes a good balance. But this is an unusual case. So the word here goes here. It's going to be I barely prepared. So I did very little, almost nothing, maybe 1-page look, and then go to the test. Wow, I'm a genius. Perfect score. Barely or hardly prepared. So what does that mean? Hardly or barely? I mean, I read 1 page. I studied for 10 minutes, maybe. Or I watched a YouTube video. about the topic. And then, well, I don't we'll see. But by miracle, I got a perfect score. Okay? So, yeah, but that's the thing. It's barely hardly. It's just saying I did the very small version, but it was a good outcome. But you have to imagine, well, what do you mean? Small, very little reading, very short time, or only watch a video? It doesn't matter. Just communicating, the very light version. Okay, now two more. Exercise B. Exercises B. So number 1. What do you own that barely works well? So some item you have that barely works. What could you say? Like, I have an old tape player that can play music, but it can't rewind or fast forward or play a loud. Oh no, play can't rewind, and the headphone jack doesn't work. Okay, so it's an old tape player. So it plays the music from, let's say, plays the music from a small speaker. So you're like listening. Okay, yeah, I can hear, but you can't rewind, can't fast forward, and you can't use with headphones. So you're listening to a tape. So that's something barely. It works. It is playing music, but everything else is broken. Okay. Number 2. Is there anything you almost never do? So never means zero. I never do that. At 0. But almost never means a little bit not 0. So very, very, very rarely. Very, very, very rarely. Let's see. Let's see. So I almost never go to fancy restaurants because they are so expensive. Okay, but occasionally, which means a special event, special occasion, occasionally, there will be a 50-year wedding anniversary, or I don't know, or a rich person's birthday. So I can go. For example, I almost never go to fancy restaurants because they're so expensive. But occasionally there will be a 50-year wedding anniversary, or a rich person's birthday, or a rich, maybe let's say rich friend's birthday, so I can go. So yeah, you have to kind of explain what do you mean, right? So yeah, this is definitely native zone, native level, but I recommend it. Go slowly, design your own. First, think of the image and try to match the language that will communicate to your listener. All right, so anyway, leave your original sentences in the comments below and I'll help you there. And we'll see you in the next video.